Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Deepa Barar and I'm here to inspire you all to live a deeply beautiful life. Alright, in today's video we are going to talk all about the AIP diet. Now I know I've covered this in a couple of other videos. I've got some what I eat in a day AIP videos with recipes for you guys, but we are going to break down exactly how to follow the diet, what you can and cannot eat, and all about how it affects your body and improves your autoimmune issues. Now for those of you that are new to AIP, AIP stands for Autoimmune Paleo or Autoimmune Protocol Diet. Is what you follow if you are suffering from an autoimmune disorder. The whole concept is that you are going to remove a bunch of really bad toxic food and you're going to give your body a surge of really good nutrients. But before we get into the video, I'm going to get you to subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can find out exactly when I post my next video. So for those of you that are new to my channel, I lost my hair due to alopecia, about 70% of it, and I grew it all back, and I managed to do it by stress management, supplements, and the AIP diet. Now the AIP diet is something that I found through all of my research through growing your hair back, and I had seen some people's channels where they had tried it and it had worked for them, and I thought, well, why not give it a shot? I had heard a lot of things lately about how food can really affect your body in so many different ways. So it just made sense to give it a try, and all the things that I did managed to grow all of my hair back. So I'm super grateful to have found the AIP diet. The book that I followed when I was reading all about this diet was The Paleo Approach by Dr. Sarah Ballantyne. For those of you that don't know who Sarah Ballantyne is, she is also known as the Paleo Mom, and she just has a bunch of medical and scientific research and facts that back up exactly why the AIP diet works for you in healing your body. Now for me, I am very much into science, so that really made me feel good about trying it, and knowing why you're doing something really helps when you're trying to do it, because the AIP diet is not an easy diet to do. It is very restrictive, but those restrictions are temporary. You're just restricting until you can heal your body, and then you're going to try to see what foods you can and cannot eat. So the first phase of the diet is called the elimination phase. And the elimination phase is the most restrictive. It's where you're getting rid of a bunch of food that maybe your friends or your family could eat and it doesn't affect them, but for some reason in your body it does affect you, and it just exacerbates your autoimmune symptoms. So you're eliminating them for a certain period of time, and then once your body heals, you're incorporating them back in one by one to see what your body can handle and what you should maybe try to avoid. And for the reintroduction phase of the diet, that's the second part of the diet, it's quite a process, so I am going to break that down in part 2 of this video. So this is going to be part 1, and we're going to talk about the elimination phase. So why our body flares up? Well, when it comes to autoimmune issues, 2/3 of autoimmune issues are attributed to diet and lifestyle factors, and 1/3 is genetics. So that's really interesting to think about. 2 out of 3 people with autoimmune issues, it's something that they could actually change themselves if they just changed their lifestyle. And our immune system is in place to protect our bodies from foreign invaders, toxic cells, any sort of viruses, bacteria. But in an autoimmune response, what happens is that your body goes ahead and attacks otherwise healthy cells, like in alopecia, your hair follicles, thinking that it's a foreign invader when it's not, and then it's just destroying all that stuff. In the elimination phase of the autoimmune paleo diet, what you're doing is you are going to remove any sort of foods that can elicit a negative reaction by your immune system, and then you're inundating yourself with very nutrient-dense foods. And we're going to talk about exactly what foods fall under which category in a second, but that's the whole point. And for a lot of people with autoimmune issues, their gut health is what is so important to repair. The gut lining can end up becoming damaged, and I don't know if you guys have heard of leaky gut. You might want to look that up. Leaky gut is really interesting because basically the whole idea is that because you've damaged your gut lining, your food that goes through your intestines, the small particles can actually go out into your body, and that can cause autoimmune reactions such as eczema, psoriasis, like those really, if you have skin issues, a lot of the times it's attributed to a leaky gut. So I would definitely read up on that. So the 4 parts that the autoimmune paleo diet focuses on is the first one, nutrient density. So focusing on getting really nutrient dense food into your diet. and you're going to want to vary that every day. So you want to try to eat different things that are really, really good for your body. The super nutrient-dense foods are the organic grass-fed meats, seafood, as well as vegetables, and sea vegetables are really good as well for you, and prebiotic foods. And then the second thing would be gut health, like we just talked about. Basically, you're giving your body some time to repair your gut lining, and that can only occur when you remove toxic foods and you inundate yourself with nutrient-dense foods. The third thing that the AIP diet focuses on is hormonal regulations. So a lot of the processed foods that we've been eating can really affect our hormonal levels, especially foods that are really high in sugar. And sugar, let me tell you, is hidden in everything. Like, you would not even think it, but sugar is in everything. So cutting back on that really allows your body a chance to repair itself and to get your hormone levels to where they should be. And then immune system regulation, which is the whole point of this diet in the first place. So we're gonna get into what you cannot eat, what you need to remove from your diet. So it's kind of a lengthy list, and I know it's going to sound impossible to do, but I promise you, as a girl who lived off of McDonald's, Taco Bell, nachos is my favorite food in the whole entire world. If I can do it, I promise you, you can definitely do it. So here's what you cannot eat. Gluten, which, I mean, if you just read up on gluten, you will read a ton of info on why gluten is not good for pretty much anybody. Grains of any kind, so you can't have rice or quinoa or any of those kinds of grains. Legumes, lentils, for those of you that are Indian, dal, yeah, that was a hard part. Dairy, which as a cheese lover, yes, I know. Refined and processed sugars and oils. That doesn't mean all sugar and oil. I'll get to what you can eat in the next part, right after this. Eggs, yeah. Nuts, including nut butters, nut flours, nut oils, seeds of any kind, including seed oils and seed-based spices. Chocolate, coffee, nightshade vegetables. So nightshade vegetables are regular potatoes, so not sweet potatoes. You can have sweet potatoes. Tomatoes, eggplants, sweet and hot peppers, cayenne pepper, red pepper, tomatillos, goji berries, and spices that are derived from peppers, so like paprika and stuff like that. NSAIDs, so that's like Advil and ibuprofen and stuff like that, and artificial sweeteners. And it includes stevia, which I know stevia is like a little bit better for you, but for some reason on the AIP diet you can't have it. Stevia and monk fruit are not allowed on the AIP diet. And alcohol. And I'm going to have a link for you guys on all the foods that you can and cannot eat in the description box below, so just go ahead and click that and you will have all of the information that you need. Okay, now we're going to get into foods that you can have, but you just want to have it in moderation, so not too much. The first one is fructose. So you can have fruit, but you want to limit your fruit intake to like 1 or 2 fruits a day. For salt, you're going to want to try to use Himalayan pink sea salt or Celtic salt. So I know we can't have coffee, but you can have black or green tea. You just want to have it in moderation. So that's kind of a silver lining. So max like 3 cups a day, which I mean, I couldn't imagine having 3 cups of tea a day. That sounds, I don't even have 3 cups of coffee a day. Coconut, so you can have coconut, just moderation. And natural sugar, so like I said, you can't have like artificial sweeteners or sugar, but you can have things like honey or blackstrap molasses. And there are a lot of really great AIP snack foods out there that contain honey or blackstrap molasses, and let me tell you, they are delicious. I'm going to be doing a video on my favorite AIP snack food, so watch out for that. And the last thing is you want to watch your fat intake, so it should be around 10 to 15% of your total calories. Okay, now we're going to get into the list of foods that you can eat and that you should eat. And if any of you that are watching have some really quick, easy recipes or snack ideas or meal ideas, please share them in the comments below so everybody else can benefit from this. Okay, so what you want to add to your diet is organ meat, which like liver or kidney or even heart. Yeah, I'm not really into organ meat, but it's supposed to be really, really, really good for you. So if you can stomach it, organ meat is the way to go. Fish and shellfish. If you can get wild caught fish and shellfish, then that would be fantastic. But if it's farm raised, it's better than not having it at all. Vegetables, any kind of vegetables. You want to inundate your body with all the nutrients from all the amazing vegetables out there, including leafy greens, colorful vegetables and fruit, cruciferous vegetables, roots and tubers. You watch my videos, you know that sweet potatoes got me through the AIP diet. They like saved my life, and that's a root tuber. Onions, sea vegetables, excluding chlorella and spirulina. So you want to make sure that you're not having that in your diet. You can eat tons of mushrooms. Mushrooms are good for you. Herbs and spices, just not seed-based spices. Healthy fats. Oils that you can use when you're cooking are olive oil is really good. Avocado oil, coconut oil, palm oil, but not palm kernel oil. Get some fruit into your diet, but make sure you're limiting yourself to like 2 servings a day. Like I was mentioning before, prebiotic and probiotic foods, so like fermented vegetables, and bone broth. Bone broth is really, really good for you. It has a ton of really good nutrients in it for your body and to calm your immune system down. So the key to all of this is you want to try your best to buy organic when possible. If you can't, that's okay. It's still better than not having these foods in the first place, but try your best to buy organic. Try your best to buy grass-fed meats, really good high quality cuts of meat, and also try your best to get variety in your diet, especially when it comes to vegetables and fruits. You want to try to get cover the entire scope of the rainbow. So when you're looking at your diet throughout the day, you should try your best to get at least 8 servings of vegetables a day. So now for how long to follow this diet. It really varies from person to person. The minimum that you should follow it is 30 days. It's more likely to be around the 3-month mark where you'll see your autoimmune system start to improve. For other people, go check out the Paleo Mom. She does have an article, which I'm going to link below in the description box, as well as her book, about being on it for longer. And for those of you that might need to be on it for a lot longer, she says that it can be anywhere up to 3 years. And I don't want to scare you by saying that. For most people, you do not need to be on the AIP diet for 3 years. Usually you'll see an improvement from 3 to 6 months. But for some people who have a lot of autoimmune issues, if you have more than one autoimmune issue and you've had it for a very long time, sometimes you'll have to really commit to this diet to get your body to really get a chance to repair itself. But I promise you, there are so many snack foods and things that you can buy out there that will make your life a lot easier to follow this diet, and it doesn't feel as restrictive as you might think once you start to get used to eating this way. If you are thinking about starting this diet, what I would suggest to you is to start slow. If you can, if you have the time, I would say maybe start to cut out gluten and dairy and soy. Oh, soy is another thing that you can't have, by the way. And those are like the most reactive foods when it comes to autoimmune issues. I would cut back on those, or cut them out first, and just kind of work your way into the diet. Maybe cut one thing out for 2 weeks, then add another thing for 2 weeks, and then work your way into doing full AIP. It can be hard to just go from 0 to 60. I wouldn't recommend that unless you are at a point where your hair's really falling out and you just found out about this diet and you want to improve your symptoms like that. Then I would say just jump into it. But it's, like I said, just try to get a lot of variety into your diet and you will be able to do this. So I'm going to have part 2 of this video, the reintroduction phase. That's a whole other video. There's a lot of information when it comes to reintroducing foods and testing out what you can and cannot eat in the next video. So make sure that you hit the notification bell so you can find out exactly when I post my next video. And I'll see you guys again soon. Take care.